get an overview of Lafayette and what you've seen in tape from those guys?
Physical, athletic, fast, one of the best tight ends in the country. I know he's just nominated for the Mackey Award. Real athletic at quarterback, tremendous arm. You know, a guy that counted for 300, I believe, 50 yards of their 430 yards last week against FAU. A lot of pressure on defense, a lot of movement, a very explosive secondary. They make a lot of plays, pick off a lot of balls. They're an impressive football team, you know, and they play, you know, we're going to a place where we've never won before. So obviously preparation, you know, we got to continue to make sure that our preparation week in and week out is our very best. And we start off with a real good day of practice on Monday, carried it through yesterday.
You mentioned not winning there before. You had it against Troy as well, and you got your first win there. Do you think this team is better suited than teams in the past to go on the road and get those wins?
Well, we're definitely getting better. You know, we're definitely getting better, and I think our process continues to improve. And I think probably the most important part is our players are taking complete accountability and ownership of the process. They're highly motivated and energized. They're very hungry. And really the entire focus is on Lafayette and on University of Louisiana and getting up to Lafayette and playing this football game.
What kind of mindset do you need to go on the road and win those games?
I'm sorry?
To be a good road team, what kind of mindset do you need?
Well, you know, your processes really don't change much. The only difference is, you know, you got to get on a bus and a plane for a little bit, but, you know, you're eating the same meals. You know, the field is the exact same size. The crowd is a little bit more hostile than others, but, you know, as the season goes on, you get deeper and deeper into it, and as the picture becomes a little bit more clear, you have to realize that every game gets exponentially harder to win, and to make those goals come to fruition, it has to be about the week. All right, the offseason was excellent. It has paid off for us. The weeks of practice have continually gotten better. It's helping us, but we do know for a fact and without question that we must continue to improve in all phases of the game for us to continue to get better and achieve our goals.
Is that what makes the difference between a good team and a championship team that's going on the road and getting those wins?
I think consistency, because at this time of year, what you'll see so many close and so many tight games out there, and you know, when you watch highlights or pick up the scorecard, you'll see that it was a matter of a play here, a tip ball there, a fumble there, an interception, a big play, a broken tackle, you know, and those things, you know, those extra reps that you get done, that extra film watch you have done, you may buy yourself that play without those cumulative reps and that extra time you put in the preparation process. So, again, our players, they do a real good job of that, and we got to keep pushing each other as players, as coaches, to get better.
Do you feel like, I mean, it's true, it's every week for you guys, it's uncharted territory, really, it is. It's something new, it's a new experience. How do you manage that?
I mean, the only thing that really matters in terms of preparing for that football game is what goes on between the walls and, you know, what goes on the stadium field and when we practice within that weight room in our meeting room. So, truly anything outside of that is just not part of the process. It really is. There's no magic formula. There is no head faking in this kind of preparation or any kind of mind trick. You know, it's that time of year where bodies are banged up all over the country, where teams are, you know, in situations to make certain things happen for their programs. And bottom line is, you got to prepare great, and you got to show up on Saturday, and you got to show up at your best.
But for the first time, you guys have heightened expectations. I guess it's something new that you have to manage. You know, people are looking towards you as being the team. How do you handle that?
Oh, we don't read many newspapers. We don't have time, and between study hall and tutoring sessions and all kinds of other stuff. You know, I guess we'll catch up on what's going on in the outside world after the season. But between now and then, it's nothing but work. You don't ignore, you know, stuff that you know is put out there for you, but you certainly don't focus on that. You know, you focus on what's going to get you. What's helped us get to this situation now, put us in this situation now, and it's going to help us get there in the future.
But obviously having this attention, being relevant in the conference race, it's got to be good for this program as far as...
It is.
Yeah.
It definitely is. It definitely is. And, you know, some you know, things are starting to show up that we planned on when we first started building the program, and you know, we expect to continue the process.
How can you guys replicate exactly what happened last game offensively against this team?
I don't think you can replicate, you know, one game plan and a result to the other. I mean, I think in terms of energy level, in terms of execution, you certainly always want to improve on the previous outing. I think we had a very successful outing last week, which, you know, in our minds should instill some confidence, but confidence stemming from preparation, from great effort, from great focus and attention to detail. That the bottom line is we know that unless we are dialed in, playing lights out with great effort, emotion, and focus, we're not real good. We're very average. So I think that's what it brings to our attention more than anything else. We have to be on point and 100% of the time with 100% attention and focus.
Can you talk a little bit about their quarterback, Gaudier?
Athletic, explosive, great runner, great thrower, great high school athlete. You know, has waited his turn. It's come about in you know, probably in a situation that he probably wasn't, you know, expecting, but it did happen, and thought he did a great job last week. He found a way to get the ball to Darius Green. He found a way to make a play on the final drive of the game and almost converted that two-point conversion as well in his first start. He settled in. He's a dynamic player in our minds because he is so explosive, and he can do it with his feet, he can do it with his arm. He reads the field well. The offensive line is big and physical. They do a great job in the running game. They pound the ball. They're also able to go inside and outside zone with that. You know, it's their personality, you know, to be aggressive on offense, and we expect them to be just as aggressive with Gaudier in there.
This team's lost 6 games. They're in the third-string quarterback. How important is it to be aware of any type of trick plays, fake punts, because season's pretty much...
Well, assignment football is always going to be important. You know, there's eyes for everybody on the field at every point in time. And as you mentioned earlier, consistency is the key, especially as the game goes on in the third and fourth quarter. You know, in the Sun Belt Conference, I think we all know week in and week out, it's very unpredictable because the parity is really incredible. Anyone can beat anyone. Everyone is evenly matched. So every single game for everyone is a championship football game, and we're very well aware of that.
Kind of building on that, I was speaking to Coach earlier this week, and he kind of says, not that they have nothing to lose, but they kind of feel liberated to do those things, to, you know, to kind of throw it all out there because they're in the position they are. Is that an added dynamic for you to worry about?
They're a real good football team. I think they've always prepared well in the games that we've played them, and we expect their best, you know, and we'll prepare accordingly.
Yeah, actually, I was
I'm sorry.
No. I just was saying that I was going to talk about that same point about the trick play, the two-point conversion, and things like that.
I think they have a lot to play for. That's a real good program with a lot of good seniors, coaching staff members that are alumni. That's, again, football. A large part about football that sometimes we don't take into account is pride, and you know, they're playing for positioning in the conference standings as well. And we've never won there. And last year we needed the last play of the game to tie the game, to go into overtime, to have to block a field goal to win the football game. Okay, so we've been fortunate to get away with one time, and now we're playing a team that we feel is even better than the team we faced last year.
I think you guys have learned some lessons from that FAU game as far as keeping focus and not letting the external get in the way. Is that kind of a message you brought to your team this week?
Yeah, I don't think the biggest lesson we learned, I don't think we're a team that has ever gone in unfocused, but we've learned a lesson that a lack of just complete composure and execution, you know, as a staff, as a team, as everything, could hurt us. That, again, unless we are dialed in, dialed up, you know, operating and functioning hitting on all cylinders, and with great emotion and enthusiasm, again, we're not real good, you know. So we know that, and we're preparing to do our best.
I'm pretty sure